This Huawei Mate 40 Pro good or garbage? Huawei's Mate 40 Pro was released on November 13 after it was launched on October 22. The Huawei Mate 40 Pro is priced at £1,099, £1,999 Australian dollars, roughly $1,400, and it includes 8GB RAM and 256GB storage. The Huawei Mate 40 Pro feels great in the hand, thanks to a glass back and glass screen sandwiched between an aluminum frame. The phone measures 162.95 by 75.5 by 9.1 mm and weighs 212 grams. While that seems rather large, for a phone of that size, the Mate 40 Pro does not feel too cumbersome. The curved edge display, which helps the phone fit snugly in your palm, also contributes to this impression. Despite the fact that the power button and volume rocker are located on the right edge of the phone, we found them easy to reach. Those with smaller hands may find it challenging to reach the higher up volume rocker, however most people will be able to reach the power button easily enough. Given that the rocker is back here, we would guess that particular novelty was not a hit. In the absence of a 3.5mm headphone jack, users will have to use a converter with a USB-C port to use their existing wired headphones or search for USB-C wired headphones, though there are few options available at present. As our review unit quickly became a canvas of fingerprint marks, the back of the smartphone appears sleek, but its appearance may detract from the overall impression of elegance. This was on the black version of the phone, and the Mate 40 Pro is also available in silver, which might not show finger smudges as much. At launch, green, yellow and white models of the Mate 40 Pro were also unveiled, and we think these look quite striking, even though we haven't seen them yet on sale. Screen size is 6.76 inches diagonally, which is quite large. However, as we've discussed, the design helps to mitigate any issues with this. It has a 2772 by 1344 resolution, which is higher than many other phones. Most stick with 1080p, and images look very clear. The OLED HDR10 technology makes colors pop. Huawei claims the displays 16.7 million colors, although we did not count. The high maximum brightness also contributes to this. While fast screen refresh rates are the latest battleground in the smartphone spec wars, the Huawei Mate 40 Pro is limited to a maximum of 90 Hz, which is lower than many of the premium smartphones. Some hit 120 Hz or 144 Hz. You can reduce the refresh rate to 60 Hz if you prefer, though we prefer the dynamic mode, which automatically switches between the two based on your activity. We have one complaint about the Mate 40 Pro display: the pill-shaped cutout on the left-hand side of the screen that houses the two front-facing cameras. We see the same 50MP f/1.9 camera on the Huawei P40 series and Huawei Mate 40, the RGB sensor, red, yellow, blue, as opposed to the RGB, red, green, blue, which allows more light into the camera. This is joined by a 20MP f/1.8 ultra-wide camera and a 12MP f/3.4 periscope telephoto, for 5x optical zoom. Portrait mode is ideal since there are no overpowering bokeh effects, and some settings, such as highlights and shadows, are adjusted to make the subject stand out more naturally. We like the Huawei Mate 40 Pro's dual cameras, which include a 13MP f/2.4 ultra-wide snapper as well as a time-of-flight sensor to improve depth perception. Selfies look good thanks to the powerful 13MP f/2.4 camera, and we like the ability to zoom in and out to a limited extent thanks to the use of an ultra-wide lens. Huawei has introduced a new Kirin 9000 processor here, paired with 8GB of RAM. App Gallery does not have our usual benchmarking app, Geekbench, so we cannot compare the phone's performance with its rivals. We would imagine it's comparable to the Snapdragon 865 Plus found in some recent phones. It runs an Android 10 operating system. Google has banned Huawei from using its apps and services, not Android itself, on top of which is MIUI 11. We say this because the company utilizes similar software optimization in its wearables to give them exceptional battery life. There are two charging options on this phone. There's 66 watts wired charging, which will charge the phone in under an hour, and 50 watts wireless charging, which is an impressive innovation. We did not get the chance to test out the latter option, as you will need to purchase a separate 50 watts pad from Huawei. However, we did test it with one of the company's other wireless charging pads, and we found it to be very quick. Also included is 5 watts reverse wireless charging, which allows you to charge other wirelessly charging devices using the Huawei Mate 40 Pro as a mat. The 5 watts version is ever so slightly faster than other devices with reverse wireless charging, but it is tucked away in the settings menu.